Well, hello there. Welcome back to Nikki's Corner. Today I'm going to review my latest post, which is Have Yourself a Different Morning. So, this is a meet cute, and it was one of the prompts that we did at the writing circle at Bear Oaks. And I did this because there's a couple of guys in our group who often wrote kind of action, sci-fi kind of stories. And I liked the idea of giving them the challenge of writing something kind of romantic. So I said, let's do it. Let's do a meet cute. And that's where this came from. Um, with our writing circle, we gather every 2 weeks, and I find the first week I'm usually just allowing ideas to pop up. I don't actually put pen to paper until that second week. And as a procrastinator, I'm always doing my writing at the last second. I might put pen to paper, a week in advance, but very much comes down to the wire for the whole story. So um, I liked the idea of taking something super simple. So I often have conversations with myself. I'm alone in my house as an entrepreneur. My cats don't provide a lot of conversation. Anyway, I make pretty much the same thing for breakfast every single day, and which is oatmeal with apples and cinnamon and raisins, which is what the main character is doing. She's just having her normal oatmeal. And I was imagining while I was stirring my oatmeal that I was having a conversation with somebody about it, saying that like it's probably kind of boring that I eat the same thing every day, but I think of it as a hug to my insides. And then this voice from somewhere, I don't know, offered, well, you look like you could use a hug on the outside too. And I thought, oh, I like that. Let's start there. Let's try to build a story around that, which I mean, around oatmeal. That's where the story came from. Um, so I decided I wanted these two characters to not only, I mean, it's a meeting, but it isn't a romantic. I mean, you might read it and interpret it as that, but it wasn't necessarily intended that way. The picture that I chose, the woman is quite a bit older than the gentleman. I wrote the gentleman as being kind of on the autism spectrum. He's very kind of exacting. He knows when he's even in the middle of taking photos that he's probably going to delete some and that kind of thing. Like his mind is already there thinking of his computer space and whatnot. Um, and just the fact that at some point, well, when this line is delivered and she says about the oatmeal, like, oh, I think of it as a hug to my insides. And she gives herself a hug as she's saying it. He notices that the smile, like she's smiling, but the smile doesn't meet her eyes. And he says that he dislikes the incongruence of that it's not whole bodied. And then he offers, like, you look like you could use a hug on the outside too. And then immediately is like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I just said that, because that's very out of character for him to say. And well, goes to flee and they have their moment. I won't give the whole story away. I'd like you to read it if you haven't read it. But they're having themselves, both these characters are having themselves a different morning. And I wanted that to be the case because I know it's been a real gift to me whenever I choose to do something different, something just out of the comfort zone, do something just a little bit different. I find that I'm very aware of what I'm noticing, what I'm seeing, what I'm smelling, like how I'm feeling at any given time. And I think that I wanted to give these characters a gift for doing something out of their comfort zone. This is something I wanted to write about, this near and dear to my heart as well, because it's just so easy for us just to get stuck in the day to day and not challenge ourselves and push ourselves. And a lot of us are lonely. And what would happen if you just decided to go outside? Like she makes her normal oatmeal and then just decides to take it outside, crosses the road to eat it in a park. And he would usually hit snooze, but he sees the way that the light's flowing into the room and he's like, "Ooh, this is going to be a good day for photography. I'm not going to hit snooze today. I'm going to go out." And so they both decide to do something different. and they're rewarded by having connection. They are wide awake in themselves when they're on their own, and then they have a moment of connection. And that I feel like is what I wanted to deliver to people, that hope that that can happen. That if you were to do just even just a little bit, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I mean, he is a photographer. He know, like, just by waking up and seeing the way the light was coming in, he knew that it was going to be a good day for photography. He has a camera, so it's not like it's, oh, maybe today's the day that I buy a camera and take up photography. Like, it was his normal thing. He just didn't hit snooze. He got up early. She always eats her oatmeal, but she just decided to take it outside. And so that's the thing. Like, this could be the thing for you to just tweak just a little something. I remember a time that I would take a bus to get home, and I just decided, I had this nudge, this little encouragement nudge, like, why not get off the bus a couple stops early and just walk home? It's a lovely day. And I'm like, yes. You know what? Yes, because I don't even know these neighborhoods. Let's do that. Let's go on a little explore. And so I was walking and felt wide awake. And then I thought, this looks like a nice little road, like cute houses. And I went down and then found three $20 bills blowing in the wind. It was like a little tornado of like three $20 bills. I was by myself. I looked around because I'm like, oh no, somebody like lost their money. There was nobody to give it to. And I was like, I felt like I was being gifted for accepting the little nudge and just doing something different. So I encourage you to read the story, have yourself a different kind of day, and then maybe have yourself a different kind of, or I think it's have a different kind of morning. Have yourself a different kind of morning yourself. Maybe it inspires something. It could be a romantic connection. It's always a good idea to not go into that with expectations, though, but just allow yourself to be awake and aware. Until next time.